Hi and welcome everybody. And before I start, just a massive thank you to all of the women who've organised today. They will have organised it for free in their own time, alongside trauma, alongside paid work and alongside caring responsibilities. And what an amazing march they put on. So can we just please give them another round of applause. We've come together today in solidarity with women across the world. As a class, women and girls are being stripped of our hard and recently won rights. Our freedom of dress, our freedom of assembly, and our very bodily autonomy are on the line. And in the UK, things are not that rosy. Abortion is still not being decriminalised, and the number of women interviewed by police every year under suspicion of procuring a miscarriage increases. I ask you, if you've got 5 minutes today, to please go to the BPAS website. They have all the details there and all of their campaigns to decriminalise abortion. They're a wonderful resource. The Police Chief Council has declared male violence against women and girls a national emergency. Each year, 1 in 8 women will take the steps to report such a crime to the police. This data does not take into account the huge margin of underreporting. And Brighton is far from a paradise for women and girls, and the situation for many of us here are grim. Sexual violence and domestic abuse perpetrated in the main by men against women is higher than the national average in our city, and it is rising. But of course, sexual violence does not just happen in the home. Non-contact sexual offences such as flashing, upskirting are a feature of our streets. Our beloved beach has seen a number of reported stranger rapes this year alone, and it falls to all of us to be vigilant. But what about the police who were sent to protect us? A recent report branded them as inadequate. That's Sussex Police, to be clear. And this data is for Sussex Police too. In a 12-month period, they failed to report 20,000 crimes. They're crimes that were reported to them that they failed to record. They also failed to report and record 10% of sexual crimes that were reported to them. And moreover, 100 police officers in Sussex Police have been investigated for domestic abuse or sexual offences in the past 5 years. In the backdrop of this, our council has consistently made aggressive cuts towards our vital services such as RISE, whilst failing to meaningfully engage with survivor groups and women's groups like the one I represent today. In Brighton in 2025, women victim survivors with PTSD still have no access to single-sex rape crisis support, a life-saving requirement stated by women over and over again. A few years ago, Brighton pledged to become a white ribbon city. Look it up. Yet the council's annual display on White Ribbon Day was a day late and $1 short. It had no signposting to services, it was littered with typos, and a piece of art that referred to women as a bitch. Brighton, you really cannot make this up. The council's own 2021 report into our city schools acknowledged that much more needs to be done to tackle misogynistic attitudes, sexual harassment and sexual assaults of girls in our schools. But that report still gathers dust. There's been no action. And as the gap between rich and poor grows, we know that women are overrepresented in every single poverty measure. A recent report stated that Brighton was the worst city to be a single mother. And in the top cities, in the period poverty ranks, Brighton ranked 5th. So we have women and girls amongst us today who cannot afford basic menstrual products. But it's not all bad news. Women, like the amazing women here today, are organising. I urge you to find these women and get busy. And thank you to the incredible women again who've organised this event, as I said, unpaid in their own time and along all of their caring responsibilities. We need to hold our council to account, our government to account, Sussex Police to account, and the men in our lives to account. I am here today representing Sister Salon. We're survivor-led. We run monthly women-only meetings where our city's women come to discuss these issues. We design campaigns and we provide mutual support. Our salons are welcoming, friendly and have a free creche. And yes, we have all of the good biscuits, so please look us up. We have a range of campaigns. At the minute we've got It's Just Not Cricket, a campaign to call on the urgent boycott of the England-Afghanistan match that is coming up. And please look at our 16 days campaign, easy actions you can take on a range of topics, from spiking to Sudan, to improve the lives of women and girls. We really do look forward to welcoming you. And I'm just going to end up here before we pass on to the next speaker. I have a little poem and I didn't write it. I'm sure most of you here will be aware that pockets in women's clothes are relatively new. Someone clever once said, women were not allowed pockets in case they carried leaflets to spread sedition, which means unrest to you and me. A grandiose word for common sense, fairness, kindness and equality. So ladies, start sewing dangerous coats made of pockets and sedition. If you would like some leaflets from mine, come and find me. Thank you so much.